Welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm here to give you the latest NBA games result, next game schedule, and updated NBA team standings as of today, January 7th, 2025.
In the first of 6 latest NBA games result, the Oklahoma City Thunder extends their winning streak to 15 games as they won at home after taking down the defending NBA champions Boston Celtics with the final score of 105-92. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dazzles the home crowd with 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists, followed by Aaron Wiggins' 15 points and Luguentz Dort 14 points. For Boston, Jayson Tatum led the Celtics with a double-double performance of 26 points, along with 10 rebounds, and Jaylen Brown finished the game with 21 points. In the second game, the league-leading Cleveland Cavaliers also continues to pile up victories after winning their 10th straight game with a victory at home versus the visiting Charlotte Hornets, with the final score of 115-105. Darius Garland led the Cavaliers in scoring with 25 points, followed by Jarrett Allen and Donovan Mitchell, who both scored 19 points each. For Charlotte, LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller led the Hornets in scoring with 24 points each. In the third game, it's the battle of the worst teams in each conference, as the New Orleans Pelicans defeated the Washington Wizards on the road with the final score of 110-98. CJ McCollum led New Orleans in scoring with 25 points, followed by Trey Murphy III with 22 points, and DeJounte Murray posted a triple-double with 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists. For Washington, Kyle Kuzma led the Wizards in scoring with 28 points and Alex Sarr 18 points. Game number 4, the Utah Jazz just defeated the Orlando Magic on the road with the final score of 105-92. Bryce Sensabaugh led the Jazz in scoring with 27 points, followed by Colin Sexton 20 points and Johnny Juzang 12 points. For Orlando, Jet Howard led the Magic in scoring with 21 points, and Wendell Carter Jr. added 15 points. In game number 5, the Houston Rockets got a narrow victory at home against the Los Angeles Lakers, with the final score of 119-115. Jalen Green led all scorers with 33 points, followed by a double-double game from Amen Thompson, who finished with 23 points, along with 16 rebounds, and Fred VanVleet, 15 points. For the Los Angeles Lakers, Anthony Davis led the team with 30 points, along with 13 rebounds, and the King, LeBron James, almost had a triple-double, finishing with 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists. In the 6th and final game results, the Sacramento Kings destroys the Golden State Warriors on the road with the final score of 129-99. Malik Monk led Sacramento with a double-double game of 26 points along with 12 assists, followed by Domantas Sabonis 22 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists, and Kevin Huerter 16 points. For Golden State, the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry, led the Warriors in scoring with 26 points, and Andrew Wiggins finished the game with 18 points. NBA team standings as of today, January 7th. In the Eastern Conference, the league-leading Cleveland Cavaliers remains at the top with 31 wins and just 4 defeats, and have won 10 consecutive games. At number 2 is the Boston Celtics with 26 victories against 10 defeats. The New York Knicks remains at the 3rd spot with 24 wins against 12 defeats and have lost 2 games in a row. The Orlando Magic stays at number 4 with 21 victories and 16 losses. The Milwaukee Bucks complete the East top 5 with 17 wins and 16 defeats, and on a 2-game losing streak. The controversial Jimmy Butler and the rest of the Miami Heat are still at number 6, with 17 victories and 16 defeats, and have lost their last 2 games. The Atlanta Hawks are at the 7th spot, with 18 wins and 18 defeats, and on a 3-game losing streak. The Indiana Pacers are at number 8, also with 18 wins and 18 losses, and have won 2 consecutive matches. The Detroit Pistons are at number 9, with 17 victories and 18 losses, and on a 3-game winning streak. The Chicago Bulls completes the Eastern Conference top 10 with 16 victories against 19 losses. At number 11 are the Philadelphia 76ers with 14 wins and 19 losses. At number 12 are the Brooklyn Nets with 13 victories and 22 defeats. At number 13 are the Toronto Raptors with 8 wins and 27 losses. The struggling Charlotte continues to pile up losses, and at number 14 with just 7 wins and 27 defeats, and have lost 10 straight games. And at the very bottom of the Eastern Conference team standings are the Washington Wizards, with just 6 wins and 27 defeats, and have lost their last 2 games. In the Western Conference, the red-hot Oklahoma City Thunder is running away from the pack at number 1 with 30 victories against only 5 defeats and have won 15 straight games. The Houston Rockets are at the second spot with 23 wins and 12 losses. The Memphis Grizzlies are not far behind at number 3 with 23 wins and 13 defeats, and on a 2-game losing streak. At number 4 are the Denver Nuggets with 20 wins and 14 defeats. LeBron James and the rest of the Los Angeles Lakers are still holding on to the 5th spot with 20 victories and 15 losses. The Los Angeles Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks are currently tied at the 6th and 7th places, also with 20 wins and 15 losses. The San Antonio Spurs and the Golden State Warriors are also tied up at the 8th and 9th spots, with an identical record of 18 wins and 17 defeats. Completing the Western Conference top 10 are the Minnesota Timberwolves, with 17 victories against 17 defeats, and have lost their last 3 assignments. The Sacramento Kings are now bouncing back into contention and up at number 11 with 17 wins and 19 defeats, and have won 4 consecutive games. The Phoenix Suns are struggling at number 12 with 15 wins and 18 defeats, and on a 4-game losing streak. The Portland Trailblazers remains at number 13 with 12 victories against 22 losses. The Utah Jazz are at number 14 with 9 wins and 25 losses, and have won 2 straight matches. And at the very bottom of the Western Conference team standings are the New Orleans Pelicans, with just 7 victories and already piled up 29 defeats, and have won a rare back-to-back games. NBA Live today, January 7th, 9-game schedule. In the first of 9 NBA Live games today, the Detroit Pistons will try to defend home court versus the visiting Portland Trailblazers at the Little Caesars Arena at 8 a.m. For the second game, the Philadelphia 76ers will host the struggling Phoenix Suns at the Wells Fargo Arena, also at 8 in the morning. For the third game, the Milwaukee Bucks travels to Canada and will play at the Scotiabank Arena against the Toronto Raptors at 8:30 a.m. For the fourth game, the Brooklyn Nets will be at home at the Barclays Center as the Go Up versus the visiting Indiana Pacers at 8:30 a.m. For the fifth game, the New York Knicks will try to end their 2-game losing skid as they host the Orlando Magic at the historic Madison Square Garden at 8:30 in the morning. For game number 6, the Chicago Bulls will be at home at the United Center as they host the visiting San Antonio Spurs at 9 a.m. For game number 7, the Dallas Mavericks will travel to Memphis to play against the Grizzlies at the FedEx Forum Arena at 9 in the morning. For game number 8, the Los Angeles Clippers will be in Minneapolis to play versus the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Target Center at 9 a.m. And for the 9th and final game scheduled for today, the Sacramento Kings will try to light the beam at home for their 5th straight win as they host the unstable Miami Heat at the Golden One Center. Tip-off will be at 11 in the morning.